In a world teetering on the edge of chaos in 2025, a war between Iran and Israel seemed inevitable. After months of rising tensions over nuclear threats, proxy attacks, and cyber warfare, both nations were preparing for full-scale military conflict. But then, unexpectedly, Donald J. Trump, U.S. President, returned to the global stage as a private statesman and negotiator. Here's how he managed to stop the war. Step 1: establishing back-channel diplomacy. Trump leveraged his personal relationships with leaders in the Middle East, including contacts from his presidential tenure. Using informal diplomacy, he arranged secret talks between Israeli and Iranian intermediaries in Oman, away from media and UN oversight. Step 2: reframing the stakes. He reframed the conflict not just as a regional issue, but a global economic and humanitarian disaster in the making. Trump convinced both sides that a war would trigger oil market collapses, mass displacement, and potential international intervention. In a characteristically bold move, Trump held a televised global address, not as president, but as a global peace envoy, calling on both Iran and Israel to make the deal of the century. The broadcast garnered international attention and increased public pressure on both governments. Behind closed doors, Trump proposed a deal. Iran would freeze enrichment above civilian levels for 10 years, supervised by a neutral Gulf coalition. In exchange, Israel would halt airstrikes in Syria and Gaza and support lifting specific sanctions through U.S. and EU channels. Trump promised to lobby Congress for limited economic normalization with Iran. As news of the proposed Trump Accord spread, diplomats from various nations arrived in Washington, D.C., eager to discuss the unprecedented agreement. Many saw this as a potential turning point in Middle Eastern relations, while others remained skeptical of its feasibility. The media reaction was swift and polarized, with some hailing Trump's efforts as a breakthrough for peace, while others criticized the approach and raised concerns over trustworthiness. Public demonstrations erupted, reflecting the mixed feelings that swept the nation. Step 5: economic incentives and ego management. Trump sweetened the deal with investment packages from Gulf allies and Chinese interests. Crucially, he ensured both nations could save face. Iran framed the deal as a defiance of U.S. hardliners, while Israel called it a victory for deterrence. Trump himself dubbed it the toughest peace ever made. Step 6: a risky gamble pays off. Critics dismissed the plan as unrealistic. But within weeks, airstrikes paused, militias pulled back, and the Iranian foreign minister visited Qatar for joint talks with Israeli observers. A full-blown war was averted. While temporary, the ceasefire was real. Donald Trump once again had shifted the narrative, not through traditional diplomacy, but through spectacle pressure and personal diplomacy. In this alternate world, peace came not from institutions, but from bold, unpredictable negotiations.